I'm about to drill some holes in an $8,000 Gibson. Swish. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Hollowpalooza. We have 3 hollow body guitars here. High-end Eastman. This guitar is pretty, but I hate it. This guitar almost made me quit luthiery because it was such a pain in the ass to get playing properly. I did 3 rounds of leveling the frets. We had to deal with the nut, we had to deal with the tuners, we had to deal with everything. Luckily, it plays perfectly now. All I have to do is swap out the electronics, and if you know anything about hollow bodies, they're about the most annoying instrument to replace electronics on. So it's not gonna be fun, but at least I don't have to deal with the playability. The client on this guitar was searching for a Bigsby to add to it. However, he then ended up picking up a ES335. This is the Larry Carlton model, aka Mr. 335. This has an upgraded truss rod cover, upgraded tailpiece and bridge, upgraded pickups, and now we're going to be replacing the tailpiece with a Bigsby and a down pressure bar. Last but not least today, we're going to be working on my very own 1965 Hagstrom Viking. This was picked up in Florida for just $60. I bought it to part it out, but it turned out it still plays great despite appearances. The baby boomer permanent man cave yard sale I bought it from just wanted it gone. In the 1960s when these came out, there was no appreciation for import guitars in the US or Canada, so Hagstrom's other European and Japanese guitars were looked upon poorly. And luckily, he maintained his negative view of this guitar until 2014 when I purchased it.
Still plays great.
Obviously, the output jack is jacked up. And I've noticed this with some Hagstrom products before. I don't know if it's been modified, but the tone seems to work backwards. I don't know if they just inverted the slugs or if that was intentional, but if you go all the way down, you have full treble capacity, meaning the signal is not interfered with. And if you go all the way up, it's maximum interference, aka bassiest. So that's the opposite. Not sure the neck pickup tone knob does anything at all. So we have our work cut out for us. 2 hollow bodies that need wiring work, and 1 that's getting a Bigsby. So let's get to it. We are going to start today's adventure with the Gibson ES335. As you may or may not know, the ES335 is a semi-hollow body guitar. It's not much different from like a thin line guitar, essentially, because there's a massive block down the center and it's quite heavy. Pretty much exactly 8 pounds. Let's compare that to my Hagstrom, which is a true hollow body. It does have 1 small piece of wood under the bridge. The weight on that is less than 6 pounds, 5 3/4. All right, we've got our Bigsby. We've got our spring and hardware. And then we've got the Towner stainless and aluminum down tension bar. So at first glance, that looks like quite the overhang. Interesting. Yeah, that's not looking right at all. Now, before I call the client and let him know it's the wrong Bigsby, we'll see what might be involved in modifying it if need be. I did notice that the Towner came with a hinge plate adapter. I think that also is for the short version of the B6. Okay, I guess we're sending that back. Well, that's a bummer, so let's move over to the Eastman. So, what are we doing? This box will let you know. We got some Lawlers, folks. We got some Lawlers, folks. First up, whatever these are. What are they? Here we go. Imperial Low Wind. According to Lawler's site, their Imperial humbucker is their take on the 1950s PAF, or patent applied for humbucker, but they improved it. The Low Wind has a average resistance of 7K at the neck and 7.9K at the bridge, whereas their High Wind is 8.4 and 9.4. So it's just 1.4K difference between the High Wind and the Low Wind. I'd be very surprised if anyone could hear the difference, but they claim that the Low Wind gives better treble response. And this is a 335 full wiring kit. Ooh, nice bumblebee caps. Okay. Sure. But before we do any of that, we're going to make sure and do some extensive demos, because I'm doing a comparison of upgraded pickups versus stock pickups in A, this guitar, and B, my Wayne's World Strat, and that will be in a different video. Now, I will be taking measurements and make sure that the pickups are at the exact same height, and I'm going to leave the same set of strings on, and I'm going to have all of the controls dimed so they will be coloring the sound as little as possible. That's cool. Looks like there's an Alnico bar underneath the pole slugs. These are very attractive pickups. Impressive amount of texture in here. I can't help with the electronics. Now, generally speaking, I will tie floss to the respective pots, but for today I think I'm just going to do the output jack, because these F-holes are big enough that I can just reach in and position the pots, so I don't need to pull them up. Now the solder seems really solid. I don't see why this would fail other than being a little rusty. Side mission. My daughter wants a bar hung in her bedroom to swing from. Screw it, I'm gonna add a switchcraft jack. All right, even with the access, it's still a pain in the ass to try to shove these into the holes.
Hey, that's what she said.
But pinky it is. Now, unfortunately, whoa! Now, unfortunately, that's not all of the issues. This was in a very humid part of the United States, Florida, as I mentioned, on the Gulf Coast, the Gulf of Mexico, and a lot of the frets have sprouted up quite a bit, and it's causing a lot of issues. Okay, that's weird. It's actually working. Seldom does a hammer do the trick. Ooh, so red. Hashtag not my lighting. As is so often the case, the bass side is even worse. All right, there's some legit weird going on with these frets, and this is my guitar, and I don't want to deal with it. The bass side had little to no issues, despite the ugliness of the raised frets, and so the treble side was my only issue side, and it seems to have come down nicely. So we're gonna leave it. For whatever reason, the fretboard is lower than the wood under the frets on the bass side, and it's kind of insane. I thought it was just gunk at first, but it turns out maybe somebody tried to level the board and not the frets. Anyway, it's crazy, and I don't want to deal with it. Yeah, as I run this sanding cloth along here, you can definitely see that somebody came through with a razor blade and screwed up this fretboard real good. It's not to humble brag about my wealth, but my parents gave me a roll of whatever this is called, paper towel. So, kind of a big deal. Don't worry, I won't let it go to my head. What the hell? What the shit is going on here? Seriously, go look at that. What the H is that? Were this a client guitar, this would have to be a full refret. But given that this is my guitar, I'm just gonna leave it for now, because I don't have time to give myself a refret. From a distance, after a couple of beer, guitar looks pretty good. The RA in my dormitory in first year of university told me that beer was a non-pluralizable noun, meaning you had to add a qualifying noun like cans of beer or bottles of beer, glasses of beer. Turns out that's not true. Beers. Here's to beers. Oh, I didn't tell you. I have half a degree in history of science and philosophy. According to my calculations, if you have half of a degree in a double major, you have 1 degree. It's science. These saddles are pretty cute. Still waiting on a string sponsor. Ernie Ball, this is your chance. That one was for free. Amazing. Oh, you want some really shitty demos of it now? Here you go. All right, that sucked. The demo sucked. The frets still suck. It needs a full refret, but I have customer work to complete, and so let's get to work on this Eastman. I can't do the demos right now, which means I can't do the rewire because there's somebody doing yard work next door with machines, and my kid is using my computer to watch TV. So I'm gonna take the measurements now of the pickups and write them down. So I'm gonna have a dirty signal through this Yamaha and a clean signal through the Super Reverb. We're gonna turn off all effects. No reverb, no vibrato, tremolo. And all EQs will be dimed. All right, with those demos out of the way, we can start rewiring. All right. Here we go. The roller bridge we have on here, obviously it's pretty maxed out for intonation, but it is locked in place so it won't fall off. So that's nice, and it won't change position. So we know everything's gonna be the exact same. And now we can begin. I guess that the Lawlers did not come with hardware or rings. Yeah, no pickup rings, even though they say if you don't use our hardware, you're going to void your warranty. But no hardware was included. Never mind, I found it. Just FYI, these are Kent Armstrong H-Pan 1s. Wow. People hate when I use this wrench. Just use it to get the first turn off and then do the rest by hand. I don't see the issue. I don't own the specific nut wrench for or guitars, if that's a thing. Again, this is the time where you would tie floss to these, pull them through, keep the floss ends over there, and then tie them to the new pots. And maybe I should. It's gonna be hard to get into this F-hole.
That's what she said.
I won't be able to reach those. Sort of interesting how Eastman did this. They've got sort of a ramped transition here to the bridge block. This whole area has a block. Given that you see a lot of hollow bodies collapse in this area, makes sense, especially with this neck joint and the neck block. It all comes down to which is more annoying. Fishing a bunch of floss or string through the guitar and tying them all off and having half of them fall off partway through, or trying to get your fingers and things in there afterwards. Both are annoying, to be honest. Okay, I will live to regret this, but c'est la vie. All right, the ground wire goes from this post to this pot, so we're gonna desolder that. Ground wire is off. Oh, also, it's almost 3 p.m. and Buggy still hasn't gone outside to go to the bathroom today. It's been almost 24 hours. This morning it was raining a little bit. He wouldn't even go out the door. And then I carried him to the lawn and he still didn't pee and he came back in. So, I'm gonna take him out. And now I should be able to pull all of the electronics out of the neck pickup hole. Oops. You can see what look like orange drop capacitors and CTS pots, switchcraft jack, and a fully sealed switch. And going in with a Centralab switch, a switchcraft jack, and I don't even know what brand these pots are. And these giant bumblebee caps, I think they're called. So we are replacing what looks like pretty good quality electronics. I don't know about the Kent Armstrong pickups, but you know, it's fairly generic. Alnico magnets, wire, resistance, and replacing them with $500 worth of similar equipment. Okay, first thing first, I'm gonna put the neck pickup into its ring and then install it here because I need to have the wire go through first and we'll solder everything through the bridge hole. Let's see if it's to their website specs. 7K exactly. The other Lawler is 7.84 for the bridge, 7.85. Out of curiosity, let's check the originals. With both pickups on, they are in parallel at 4.42K, and individually we've got 8.88 and 8.85. Very similar, basically matched. It's pretty irrelevant labeling them bridge and neck. I mean, they both have the same output or the same resistance value essentially. All right, I did a quick test. The electronics are working. It's time to shove them in. And I am gonna put floss on the output jack. For whatever reason, this hole seems too small. And I'm adding the ground wire to the switch because it's the closest to the hole. And it's kind of a short ground wire, so this will make it easier for the next person. All right, I think the reason those pots aren't coming through is just because the hole is perfectly tight and they need to come up straight instead of at any angle. There's no room for error. Okay, it's not my fault. This jack is actually larger than the jack hole. This product's bullshit. It only looks good from certain angles. Looks great from straight ahead. Okay, now we're going for neck pickup. Okay, now we're gonna do some clean tones. Clean tone 1. This is bridge pickup. neck pickup. And once more with a pick. All right, we are back at the bench. I was just in Portland for a week. It's been spring break. We finally got the right Bigsby in the mail, so let's drill some holes in this Gibson. Just kidding, we're doing an install that has no mods. Now to get these screw hole canceling rivets in, you actually have to use quite a bit of pressure. I might actually have to put an additional rod on here. I think the top ones are in, but I need some more leverage. There, that's much easier. That should do it. Great. We don't want it all the way down like that, because then the body of the Bigsby is touching the body of the Gibson. You want to slide it up. Make sure it's touching these felt pads instead of the body. Minor hitch. Client says he sent me along with some strings and I'm not seeing them anywhere. So either I'm out some expensive ass strings or gotta find them. I just hope it didn't go back in that box with the Bigsby return. Hey, we're down here. Now, of course, we're gonna wipe down everything that's gonna be under the strings because obvious reasons, impossible to reach afterwards. We looked into buying a roller bridge for it that would be compatible, but then the client looked up his Callahan bridge and they claim it's great for Bigsby's. It's different from the ABR one because these slots are rounded instead of triangular. Well, we can't do nothing but try it out. I did loosen the set screws in the post holes there, and there's a little wobble. So hopefully it's enough for this Bigsby. As some of you know, I have sort of an acidic sweat, so I just freshly washed my hands before I put the strings on this guitar. And then I'll wash them again when it comes time to set it up. Clean in the fret scum. It's a nice green tone. I don't know what you would call this, a balanced set. It's sort of heavier on the treble side and lighter on the bass side. Now, because we have the distinct advantage of there being no tension and these posts not being way under there, we have access to them at the moment. And so I guide the ball on, give it a little bend, and move on to the next string. See? Flawless. Once I turn the camera off, of course it works perfectly, like everything in life. Luth like no one's looking. Okay, some people definitely took issue with the short I made, saying I don't really understand the 335. I'm not a fan of heavy guitars. Some people will say 8 pounds is not a heavy guitar, but I think it is. I think it's completely unnecessary, especially for something that's ostensibly semi-hollow. I am willing to enjoy it sitting down. There was lots of toxic masculinity. Oh, bro needs to hit the gym if he thinks that's staggering. It's just pointless. A guitar doesn't need to weigh, well, it probably weighs more than 8 pounds now with the Bigsby. Pretty nice. Maybe I should turn off the reverb for a minute. Alright. Well, now you can tell it's out of tune. Amazing how reverb can do that. It can disguise the fact that you're completely out of tune. So I'm going to tune up and then we'll get a clean, dry signal. Middle. And neck. okay, I'll admit. Still too heavy. Well, thank you for stopping by, and thanks for watching all the way to the end. We have a lot of fun projects coming up, including I'm going to compare another set of $500 pickups to essentially free pickups. I've got the whatever these are. Look forward to it. What was your opinion on the sound difference between the new pickups we put in that Eastman and the previous pickups, the Kent Armstrong versus the Lawler? For me, the difference was almost inscrutable. Thank you for watching, as I said. Thank you to members. Thank you to Patreon patrons. Plenty of new videos coming out soon. Like, subscribe, all of that See you next time.
Lost in sun is coming undone. You can see it in the west. Now it's time to rest. I live lost view. Oh, may I have a bud with you. Loyalty and trouble war. When did I wake in that house I depart from those that I love, but soon we will join.